This next group of stretches is going to focus on our quadricep group, our hip flexors. We'll add a little bit of that lateral group with it too. And then a second part of it is really going to affect our hamstring groups. This is an extreme kind of position that you can start in. If you have a sofa or your bed or anything, put your foot up in this position. It'll help pre-stress your quad. I want you to keep your body, just what I refer to as think of your body like an H if I'm looking down at it. My legs are running this way, my pelvis is running across. I want to keep that like that. I don't want to let that rotate and turn. I want to keep that central, strong core like an H, okay? So what I'm going to do then, pull up that neutral spine, hold on to it with either hand, bring yourself back. Pull that spine upward, think tall out through the ceiling. Breaths. Again, from that diaphragm, base of the rib cage. Good 5 breaths here. If you want to add to this, hand in the air, fingers to the sky. Good 5 breaths. You also can then add a little bit of that lateral movement, but I don't want you to do the collapse where you go over. Remember, we want to keep the H with this one. So the arm can go up, body comes back. Good flexor stretch. If you have a knee problem or an ankle problem, don't use the chair like this. Simply put your foot flat on the ground like this. Bring this foot forward a little more and lean that forward arm up to the sky. Kind of like a stretch. Sometimes they refer to this as a hurdler stretch or something like that. But we want to affect this group of musculature through here. Hand to the sky, help draw that spine up. Good breaths through the lower rib cage. 5 deep breaths. Then you're going to switch sides. But what we're going to do first in this is now we're going to make this stretch affect our hamstring. So you're going to put your foot like that. Again, keeping your pelvis very straight across here. Remember that H, okay? Then what I want you to do is turn your umbilicus so it's coming towards your knee. With your head up looking forward, we're going to keep the cervical curve in our neck. We're going to keep the curve in our lumbar spine. We're going to bring this hip bone, leg bone into the hip. And you're going to kind of bring your body forward and work on that hamstring. You might want to have an ottoman or a theraball or something around to stabilize yourself with, so you can more easily get into the position. A good 5 deep breaths as you're doing this. Don't fall. All right, then we can do the other side. So let's review this again. I'm going to get in this position, foot up, this up, leg about a 90-degree angle. An H. No rotation, body back, spine into neutral, arm to the sky. Pulling back in, you'll be able to feel that through the quad, depending on how flexible you are. Some people may not really have a lot of effect from this stretch, but that means you've got good flexibility in there. So then a little bit over, reaching towards the sky. But remember, no lateral bending. Arm up. 5 good breaths. Relax that. Hamstring out. Torso rotation over the knee. Good cervical curve, good lumbar curve. Bring that body down. And good 5 breaths. You'll feel that in there. You can also kind of pump your foot a little bit if you want, depending on the flexibility. And also think of this again. I want this leg bone sitting into your hip bone, so it's not rotating out. You want to focus it in and down, flat across here, moving forward. If you do this, you are shutting off the effectiveness of this stretch. Because if we don't have the curve in our neck and the neutral spine here, these things take the stress off of our body and put the stretch into our leg. If I do this, it all goes away because we're not stacked evenly. All right, on we go to a rotator stretch. All right, this next stretch often is done in yoga classes. It's often referred to as a pigeon stretch, and it is to help stretch all of the hip rotators, glutes, piriformis, all that good stuff. So what you're gonna do is hands and knees. I recommend you do it on a mat. You're gonna bring one foot in front of the knee. And this is where this gets really important. You wanna make sure that, again, you keep that good cervical curve, you keep that good lumbar curve. I want you to walk yourself backwards. Bring your hands back, walk yourself backwards. Good lumbar curve, good cervical curve. Use your fists, don't use your hands. And you want to sit into this and lower that lumbar curve. You're going to feel it in the hip. I'll show you what I'm doing the other side. Good 5 deep breaths. Of course, I'm talking, so I don't know how many breaths I've had. And then you're going to go into what I call position 2. What you're going to do is lay your belly down, keep your eyes forward, walk your hands up, then let your head rest down. Then you're going to breathe through this region again. Really important. This is where we breathe from in this to release the lower back. Okay? Going to walk back up. We're going to come into our 4. We're going to cross our foot over. And you only have to do this as far as you can. If you don't have the hip flexibility, don't go as far. You know, if you need to do this, do that. If you have the flexibility to get it over further, get it over further. Walk back. Sit down. See, I'm sitting my hip down. By walking back with my opposite leg, I'm sitting my pelvis down onto the ground. I'm getting a good rotational stretch through all this group. Almost a little exaggeration of your lumbar curve. Let your belly come forward in this, okay? Head up. Almost like a cobra position. Good 5 breaths. I want you counting your breaths because I'm talking and I can't remember. So then we're going to come forward, head forward, all the way, reaching, head to the mat. Good 5 breaths. Breathing from the diaphragm. And come out of that. And all is good. And then I'd recommend you just go back into a stretch like this. And that's how we really get a good stretch on our hip rotators.